Hi, YouTubers and wet shavers everywhere. It's Georgetoon.com. I'm back with another Monday Morning Mailbag. Get yourself a cup of coffee, kick back, relax. Let's talk a little wet shaving and a few other things. What do you got this morning? I've got coffee and iconic characters this morning. Hang on 1 minute. Let me get a sip. Oh boy, that's good. That's a good cup of coffee. One more. That is terrific. Courtesy of viewer William Meredith. Here it is right here. Ellis Coffee Philadelphia Roast with the iconic Rocky Balboa right there on the bag. How about that? Yeah, this is a terrific coffee. This is ground coffee, 100% Arabica, family roasted since 1854, and it is a medium dark roast right there, as you can see. Boy, is this good one in there. And this is a good one. And there's Rocky right there. Iconic pose. And again, Ellis Coffee. We talked about Ellis Coffee and John Ellis, who founded the company. Man, there's a story there for you. So get up there and read all about Ellis Coffee. That's a terrific coffee. And of course, Rocky right there on the bag. And also, iconic characters. Linus and Snoopy, right here. I got to be careful turning it. There it is, Snoopy. Snoopy grabbing Linus's security blanket and running away with it. A big thanks to JimiV for very kindly and generously sending this mug to the channel. Thank you again, Jimmy. It's just absolutely fantastic. So we got three great iconic characters this morning, and that's absolutely awesome. Speaking of that, hang on 1 minute, one more sip. Speaking of which, Rodney Ripplinger sent along today's to-do list, okay? Here's what he wrote. Here's your to-do list for today. 1, drink coffee. 2, be awesome. Yeah, I agree with that. Thanks very much for that, Rodney. Really do appreciate it. And as we like to say on the show, a good hot coffee, a trusty mug. Let the caffeine go to work, gentlemen. Absolutely. Okay, one more sip. This is really good. I like this coffee a lot. Oh boy, that's really good. And hey, if you're taking me along on your morning commute, thanks very much for the lift. Really do appreciate that. If you are listening to the podcast this morning, thanks very much for tuning in via all those great streaming platforms that are out there, like Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, that sort of thing. Thanks very much. Boy, let me set this down right here. I love this mug. I love that handle. I just want to be careful with it when I'm talking to you. We've got a great show for you this morning. We have got a viewer shaving tip, kind of a revisit of a viewer shaving tip this morning. I think we shared this with you once before, but it's always great to revisit these shaving tips, especially as new viewers tune in. They may have missed it in a previous show from, say, last year or a couple of months ago, that sort of thing. We have got a great Shave Den visit for you this morning. We got the usual reminders. We also have an update on the Larry giveaway. Our winner did contact us. We're going to give you some more information about that. We got some great refill comments this morning. We also have some new wet shaving gear to share with you this morning. We've got something from Greg Pisante that he is passing along, as well as Bart Buzz. I believe that's Bart Bartlett. So both of those gentlemen are sharing some new shaving gear with all the viewers. Thank you very much, gentlemen. And we have some great questions and comments. So thanks very much for tuning in. Really do appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me this morning. Let's get the show kicked off like we do every week with a viewer morning shaving tip. Well, this morning's shaving tip comes from viewer Scott Martin, and he wrote the following. Bob's tip about using alum to get a better grip on your razor is always important, as new wet shavers may not have heard about this very effective technique. Now, we'll stop right there and we'll share the technique with you. If for some reason you're using a razor like this beautiful Edwin Jagger razor that very kindly and generously came to the channel from viewer Matt Panter, it has some fluting on there, which gives you a good grip, but if for some reason that gets a little slick, here's what you can do. You wet your fingers and then you get an alum block and you run your wet fingers over that alum block, and that really gives you a lot of stickiness so that when you go back to that handle that might be a little slick from oil or soap, it really does improve the grip. It's very, very effective on handles that are very, very smooth, like this beautiful bevel razor that Nate Jackson sent to the channel. Nate, thank you again very, very much. So if you have a smooth handled razor or a handle that is maybe partly smooth, something like that, the alum block trick, wetting your fingers and then running those wet fingers across the alum block will improve the stickiness on your fingers so that you can get a little more grip on the handle. Now, he continues here, with all the soaps and oils and slippery products associated with shaving, it's easy to lose your grip on your very sharp razor. I will add this one caveat. Once you soak your fingers and rub them in alum, be very careful to not drip any of the alum water on your blade accidentally. If you get alum on your blade, that sticky and grippy effect will work against you, and the razor will grab your skin rather than glide over it. Nicks and cuts are almost guaranteed. I've done this more than once, and boy, that razor bit me hard. I'm now very careful to keep that alum on the handle where it belongs. Cheers, Scott. Scott, thank you very, very much for this great, great shaving tip. A great reminder to use alum to create a little more grippiness on your fingers when you're handling a slick safety razor handle. And also a great, great heads up to not get any of that alum water on the blade where it could actually become sticky and grippy itself and cause a little nick or cut. So that's really a fantastic, fantastic shaving tip. So Scott, thank you very, very much for that. Really, really do appreciate it. Now, Scott already has an original signed George sketch, and he displays it in his shave den. Scott, thank you very, very much for that. We really do appreciate that. But if you out there would like an original signed George sketch, just send me a shaving tip. Send that shaving tip to mondaymailbag@gmail.com, mondaymailbag@gmail.com. And if I use your shaving tip here on the viewer shaving tips segment of the Monday Morning Mailbag, you too will receive an original signed George sketch. So thanks very much for the tip, Scott. Really, really do appreciate that. And speaking of George sketches, we heard from Matt Rose. Matt Rose very kindly sent in a shaving tip. We sent him a George sketch, and it arrived at his home. And he wrote, it's here. It took the mailman a while, but this arrived today. Thank you. I will send another shot when it's framed. And again, that's from Matt Rose. Matt, thank you very, very much for letting us know that the George sketch arrived safe and sound, and really looking forward to seeing it framed and hanging in your shave den. Thank you again very, very much. Thanks to Matt, thanks to Scott, and thanks to everyone out there for sending in those shaving tips. Really do appreciate it. Okay, it's time for a shave den visit.
Grab your favorite shave soap, whip it up, rich and creamy, fill your cup, boom, lather. Hot towel ready, face feels prime, a classic shave, so smooth, so fine. 30 degrees, a light touch, let the razor do the work, no need to rush. Shave like a pro, close and neat. A shave so smooth it can't be beat. Slap on your favorite splash, feel that glow. Shave complete, now you're ready to go. Oh, boom, shave complete, you're ready to go.
Well, this morning we have a couple of shave den visits for you. First up, something from James Sefton, who writes, hey, Mark, about the mild razors. Back in October of 2018, I got a Mamba 0.53 gap razor, and it was so mild, I put it in a drawer, and it has been sitting there ever since. A little while ago, I put a feather blade in it, and in the morning, I plan on shaving with it, and we'll let you know how it goes. James, thanks very much. We're all very curious. He reported back on that very shave. And he wrote, good morning, sir. I just shaved with my Mamba 0.53 a mild razor with a feather blade. A mild razor with a sharp blade is the only way to go, in my humble opinion. This is another reason why the 3MB channel is so great. Like they say, live and learn. BBS Shave is a great way to start the day. Thanks again for all you do for us here in the wet shaving community. James, thank you very much for the report. He followed up with yet another email where he said, hey, Mark, the Mamba .53 gap is a mild razor for sure, but with a feather blade, it's a 2-pass and done for me. And I know that mileage can and will vary, James. Well, James, thanks very much for that report. And again, the reason why we're including this is that everybody may have, or most of us have, a razor in our shave den that maybe didn't work out on the first try or the second try, something like that. And we've set it aside. We've put it in a drawer, set it aside, and a little while later, maybe a few months, maybe even a couple of years, we'll come back to it and we'll try a little different approach. And wow, it works. It's better than expected. And that's why I say, if you get a new razor or a new shave soap or any new piece of wet shaving gear in your shave den, and if it doesn't work the first time around, doesn't knock your socks off the first time around, don't throw it away. Set it aside, put it away, put it in a drawer, put it on the shelf, and then come back to it a little while later, even if it's a couple of months. And then, try it again with a fresh perspective. Maybe expectations were too high the first time around, that sort of thing. And you'll be surprised how wonderful that razor or that brush or that soap can be, the next time around you use it sometime later after having first received it. So that's really a great reminder. And James, enjoy that Mamba .53 razor. Again, that's just a great reminder to, try that shaving gear again a little while down the road. If it doesn't really knock your socks off the first time around. That's always kind of a good approach. I've always said that just hang on to that razor, set it aside, come back to it, a couple months, even a year or so. You never know what's going to click with you. A new blade, maybe a new soap with that razor, something will turn it around and you'll think, wow, I'm so glad I hung on to this. It works great. And that's exactly what happened with James with his Mamba .53 blade gap razor. He put a feather blade in there and got a great shave. And of course, we've been talking about mild razors, sharp blades. Just want to know if that's your approach to the traditional wet shave. A mild razor and a sharp blade like James experienced here. Please comment below, let us know. Thanks again, James, really do appreciate it. Hey, we heard from Jim from Northfield who wrote, hey Mark, I struck again. I acquired this shave lot from a seller on eBay. It includes 3 vintage Enders razors, a gem featherweight never used, a gem bullet tip, an Everready 1912, a 40s super speed in a Sheraton case, a vintage German-made Optima razor in a Gillette plastic case, and the prize razors, 2 1910 Gem Junior Bar lather catchers. These usually go for $60 per razor. This is all I paid for the entire lot. What a deal. I did a shave with one of the lather catchers and wow, what a shave. Super smooth and close. If you have a chance at one of those, make the investment. You won't go wrong. As always, right time and right place. Thanks. Have a great week. Jim from Northfield. Wow, Jim, what a great vintage find. Some wonderful, beautiful razors that you're adding to your shave den. And also some great information for all of us looking for vintage razors. Now we have some other razors to keep an eye out for, especially those lather catchers and some of the other gems that you mentioned. Wow, those are really, really terrific. So thanks very, very much for the great photo and the great description of all these wonderful razors that you've recently added to your shave den. Really, really do appreciate it. So a big thank you to Jim and a big thank you to Jim, to Jim and James for the shave den visits this morning. Gentlemen, thanks again very, very much. Well, here's your reminder to check out shavesplash.com. This is a website that was created by viewer Lee Meyer. If you happen to have a shave soap, but you don't have an aftershave splash for it, well, shavesplash.com is a scent matching website. So you'll be able to find a complimentary aftershave scent that will go with that shaving soap. Really, really terrific. And they also have some great articles and features up there. So check it out. We'll have the link below, shavesplash.com, from viewer Lee Meyer. Well, the channel now has auto dub technology courtesy of Google and YouTube. And as the name suggests, it will automatically translate this audio from English into Italian, German, Portuguese, Spanish, or French. Pretty amazing. Simply click on the gear in the lower right of the video screen. A menu will pop up, and there you can select the language that you wish to hear the audio in: Italian, German, Portuguese, Spanish, or French. It translates it from English to any of those languages in real time, on the fly. Pretty amazing. Auto dub. Check it out. Well, here's your weekly reminder that the Monday Morning Mailbag is also available as a podcast. Simply get up to your favorite streaming service and search for Monday Morning Mailbag and more, Monday Morning Mailbag and more, and the Monday Morning Mailbag podcast, as well as our other podcast, Second Cup, will come right up. Both of those podcasts are available on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, YouTube, and now iHeartRadio. Well, as we mentioned earlier, our winner in the Larry giveaway, Mark W. Kinney, contacted the channel and let us know that he's claiming his prize. And he sent an email writing, "Hello, Mark. I am reaching out to you about the Larry giveaway that I won. My address is below." He provided his address, and he wrapped up by saying, "I look forward to updating you and the 3MB about it when I receive it. Thanks, Mark Kinney." Well, he did receive it, and he sent along this video report.
Hello, Monday Morning Mailbaggers. My name is Mark. I was the winner of the Lair giveaway. I received the package today. I went ahead and unboxed it kind of off cam. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what was in the box. The first thing I got was a letter from Mark. Let's go ahead and open that up. This was the letter from Mark. I'll let you guys take a look at it if you want. All right. The next second thing was the Viking blade adjustable razor. I'll go ahead and take a look at it, open it up. You guys see it? It's pretty good packaging. The packaging. Nice little box. It's got a little info card on it. And there's kind of the box. Here's the razor. Kind of opens up real nicely. Oh, nice. It's a nice razor. I'll go ahead and put that back. And lastly, I got the wooden shave brush handle. It will need a knot in it. So luckily through Mark's videos and through the community, they've taught me how to set my own knot. So I'm gonna purchase probably a knot and from the razor company and set a knot. And when I do that, I'll shoot another video for you guys if you like, and we can kind of go from there. I just wanted to say thank you. And once again, I got the brush handle, the razor, safety razor, Viking blade, and a letter from Mark. Just wanted to say thank you. Continue watching the 3MB. Thank you.
Wow, that's absolutely fantastic. Mark, thanks very much for a great video report. So glad that the items got to you in such good condition and in a timely fashion. Please let us know how the setting of the brush knot goes in that beautiful Cuauhlti wooden brush handle that David Lair created. And yeah, shoot some more video. I know a lot of viewers out there would love to see it completed. So thanks again, Mark. Congratulations on winning the Larry giveaway. A big thank you again to David Lair and Larry Napier for sponsoring the Larry giveaway. We've got more giveaways coming, folks, so stay tuned. Congratulations, Mark, and thanks again to David and Larry. Well, as we announced last week, courtesy of viewer Aaron Watson, the 5th annual Ohio Wet Shavers Meetup will take place on Saturday, September 20th, 2025 at River's Edge Cutlery in Hilliard, Ohio, with attendance capped at 50 due to space limitations. Attendees will receive exclusive soap and splash collaborations from Barrister & Mann and Sterling Soap Company, plus a bonus offering from Adopted Acres Soap Company. The event features homemade barbecue, prize drawings from top shaving brands, and a PIF table, pay it forward table, for swapping gear. Continuing its tradition of giving back, the meetup supports the Children's Cancer Research Fund through a raffle organized by David Keiss, honoring Barb Keiss's cycling and fundraising efforts. So we'll have a link to where you can get tickets to the 5th annual Ohio Wet Shavers Meetup taking place on Saturday, September 20th, 2025 at River's Edge Cutlery. Again, attendance is capped at 50, so get your tickets soon. I've got mine. I hope to see you there. Well, what do you know? Coffee's getting low. That time of the show. Let's go back for a refill. Well, I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me this morning. I hope you went back for a refill. I sure did. Hang on 1 minute. Let me get a sip. Oh boy, that is terrific. That's a great cup of coffee. And again, a big thank you to viewer William Meredith for very kindly sending along Philadelphia Roast from Ellis Coffee. This is the iconic characters edition of the Monday Morning Mailbag. There's Rocky on the bag of Philadelphia Roast coffee right there. And of course, we're using the classic, iconic coffee mug, Linus and Snoopy, courtesy of viewer JimiV. Jimmy, thank you again very, very much. Okay, so I'm slurping a little bit too much there. Sorry about that, but it's good coffee. Wow. There's Snoopy right there grabbing that blanket, and the blanket becomes the actual handle of the coffee mug. Check that out, the security blanket. And there's Linus hanging on. That's fantastic. Iconic. It's an iconic image of Snoopy and Linus and the security blanket. And Rocky. There's an iconic image right there of Rocky. Yeah, so it's the iconic characters edition of the Monday Morning Mailbag. One more sip. That's terrific. And speaking of iconic, we got a couple of iconic things to share with you this morning. The Black Coffee Life, which is Mantic 59's website, where he talks about all things black coffee and the health qualities of drinking black coffee. So we'll have a link below. Check that out. And the iconic cartoon panel, the Lockhorns, in a brand new book collection, hardcover book collections. It's called The Lockhorns. Someday we'll look back on this and quickly change the subject by my friends John Reiner and Bunny Host. So we'll link to that. Check that out, the Lockhorns iconic cartoon panel. So if you're looking for something to tickle your funny bone, check that one out. Great to be with you. Let's get to some of these refill comments. This comes from Brian McCarthy, 1322. Good afternoon, Mark. This morning, I had to get back to sanding the back deck in preparation for staining. What a terrible way to start the week. Well, now that's done, I finally got to sit down with a homemade latte and enjoy the Monday afternoon mailbag. I received my intergalactic shave scuttle last week and have enjoyed 2 shaves so far. I sometimes wonder if the joy of wet shaving is all in the head, but I gotta say, the 2 shaves were out of this world, almost an intergalactic experience. Each time I used a different soap, razor, and blade combination, and the results, real or imagined, are spectacular. Thanks for reviewing this interesting device and bringing it to our attention. Almost good enough to get me looking forward to winter. Almost. I know what you mean, Brian. It's a terrific shaving scuttle. Helps you whip up a really nice warm lather. It's made of high impact plastic. It's great for home or travel. It's got this great rubber stopper right there. Also comes with this travel bag, this microfiber travel bag. So you can use this as a towel to clean up, clean up the scuttle if you want to, also to dry off your razor, that kind of thing. And what I usually do is I take a couple of travel shave soaps like that and I put them right into the scuttle like that, as you can see. And then I take the whole thing and I place it into the bag like this. Let me get that in the bag there so you can see. Try to put that in there so I don't drop anything. Yeah, put it in there like that. A little more difficult to do it on camera. So I get it in there like that. And then I just cinch up the bag like that. And I hang this on the back of the door in my shave den so that it's ready to go. If I'm going to have a weekend getaway, something like this, I can grab this and throw it in my overnight bag. And I've got my travel scuttle with some soaps with me, that sort of thing. And, I'm good to go. So, yeah, it is a terrific item. And as they say on the product page, the Intergalactic Indestructible Shatterproof Travel Scuttle by Phoenix Shaving, it's $29.95. Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. If you're looking for an affordable scuttle to use at home or on the road, check out the Intergalactic Indestructible Shatterproof Travel Scuttle by Phoenix Shaving. Brian, thanks so much for reminding us all on how terrific it is. It really is a great travel scuttle. Very versatile on the road and high impact plastic. And it really retains a little more heat. You can microwave this without the stopper. Don't leave the stopper in there, but you could fill that inner chamber up with water and microwave it and get a little more intense heat to build your lather, and it won't get as foamy and break down as much as, say, regular scuttles. Yeah, it's terrific. It really is. Or just use hot water from the tap. You'll enjoy it that way, too. Brian, thanks very much for the recommendation on the Intergalactic Scuttle from Phoenix Shaving. Really do appreciate that. Robert Ross, 8565, writes, I absolutely love wet shaving. I have been doing it for about 3 years. I have one razor, one shave bowl, 2 shave brushes, and 3 soaps. I have avoided going down the rabbit hole with the exception of DE razor blades. I have enough Russian-made Gillette blades to last me until 2043. As one soap is used up, I will replace it. Robert, be careful of that rabbit hole. But yeah, blades can get to be a rabbit hole as well. They're like coat hangers. All of a sudden you turn around and there's like a million of them there. You go into your closet, where all these coat hangers come from? Same thing with razor blades. Where do all these razor blades come from? Yeah. So let us know if you're able to stay out of that rabbit hole a little bit longer, Robert. Thanks very much for that comment. Really do appreciate that. Bill Murphy checked in. Great show, Mark. Love the razor cleaning tip. That was the cleaning tip by Paul Desjardins, taking some hot water and pouring it over his Emperor Meiji adjustable razor and letting it soak a little bit and then drying it off. And he gets great results cleaning it that way. And he also says, Zombie Punch sounds interesting. Yeah, that's a great fragrance from Enchanted Path Creations, a new artisan soap maker that we've talked about last week and I think the week before. We've done a review and we're editing it. We're going to get it posted. Really great shave soap. Very slick. So stay tuned for that. Thanks very much for that, Bill. Really do appreciate it. This comes from Axeman7588. Great Monday morning mailbag as always. Interestingly enough, I felt strangely compelled to use my Boar brush this morning. Then I watched this. I've always broken in my Boar brushes by washing them with a clarifying shampoo and then towel drying the tips. Then I just use it. I think we overthink these things sometimes. I think we all know that our fathers and grandfathers would not have dedicated such prep time to a mere brush. Laugh out loud. I remember my grandfather's old shave brush, black-handled wood bore, skinny knot, missing hairs, soap encrusted. Mind you, they were cheap and easily replaceable with availability at the nearest neighborhood corner store. Yeah, that's a really, really good point. Back in the day, you could go to any corner drugstore and pick up a shaving brush if your other one was getting a little bit on the thin side. And yeah, maybe we do pay a little bit too much attention to breaking in a boar brush and that sort of thing. But that's the love and enjoyment we have with doing the traditional wet shave. So Axeman, thanks very, very much for that. And he's referring to some of the shaving tips we've talked about on how to break in a boar brush, soaking it, or taking a soap like Dove soap with some moisturizing qualities and just, breaking it in and lathering, loading the brush and then lathering it in your hand for about 5 minutes, for about 6 cycles for about 30 minutes. And that'll, allow that knot to bloom and break it in, or just using it. Using it will break it in as well. Yeah, so thanks very much for that, Axeman. Really do appreciate it. And yeah, you're right. Our fathers and grandfathers had it pretty good. They just bought a brush and used it. And once it had seen its day, they went to the corner drugstore or a corner pharmacy and grabbed another one. Yeah. Yeah, thanks very much for that. That really, really neat perspective on that. Thanks very, very much. Robert Seals, 9148 writes, good morning. Great 3MB as always. I bought my ticket to the Ohio Wet Shavers Meetup this morning. Looking forward to meeting you and seeing everyone. Go Buckeyes. Yeah, Robert, go Buckeyes. Thanks very, very much. Let's see, on the day that they hold the Wet Shavers Meetup, it's going to be an away game because if it was a home game, I mean, my gosh, Columbus would be just mobbed with all kinds of traffic. So it'll be an away game for the Buckeyes. The Buckeyes won't be playing in the Horseshoe. But yeah, we'll monitor that game too. Or maybe it's a bye week. I got to look at the schedule. We'll find out. But they won't be in Columbus, that's for sure. And yeah, Robert, let's make sure to get a picture together. I really do appreciate the comment. Andrew Hill, 1965 writes, amazing show. My coffee while watching is a dark roast by Javalia Coffee. Nice, smooth blend. Great new product part. As always, have a great week. Andrew, thank you very, very much. Javalia, is that how it's pronounced? Gevalia? Javalia? I think that's how it's pronounced. I'm going to have to try some of that sometime. I've heard the name, I've heard of the brand, but I don't think I've ever had it. If I have had it, I wasn't aware of what I was drinking at the time. So yeah, nice, smooth blend. Yeah, I like those as well. So thanks very much for that, Andrew. Really do appreciate it. JimiV Photography checked in. Yep, get an assistant. I agree. I'm going to need an assistant. Right now, some AI programs help me as assistants. Not as good as having an actual physical, real assistant, but it'll suffice for right now. I learned some time ago, do what I love and hire people to do what I don't. I'm terrible with bookkeeping and accounting stuff, so I have people to do that. They keep me out of Leavenworth for screwing up my taxes if I were responsible for them. You know what? That's a great point, Jimmy. Yeah, for those kinds of things, yeah, get some pros who know what they're doing. I agree. My problem with sugar cones is that if the bottom point is in any way damaged, it's drip, drip, drip. Wafer cones might get soggy, but they leak less, laugh out loud. The best, though, were the great waffle cones you would get at carnivals or state fairs. Huge and super yummy. You could pile the scoops high on a waffle cone. I agree. I don't think I've had a waffle cone in a long, long time. So I might have to get one down the road, maybe at one of the local fairs that are coming up here. Some of the county fairs. So thanks very much for that, Jimmy. Really do appreciate it. Lee Hazley writes, yet another great Monday morning mailbag, Mark. I believe that the Gillette Techmatic was actually designed specifically for astronauts to take into space with them. The idea behind it is that the fully enclosed blade would have no chance of coming free and causing any space damage within the craft. That makes a lot of sense, Lee. To have that blade inserted in that razor head so it can't come out easily. I mean, you're in 0G, everything's floating around. Yeah, you wouldn't want that to happen. 10 fluid ounces, 30 minutes adds. Techmatic. Think about the avoidance of handling a double-edged blade, loading and unloading a razor. Apollo 11 astronauts using Techmatic would make sense for the application. Yeah, again, another great point. That's why they took the Techmatic with them. Again, we're referring to Bug Chief. He sent along a video of the Apollo 11 astronauts shaving, and we asked what kind of razor it was. It's a Techmatic, and that makes sense. I would think that now they're either using electric razors or cartridge razors. I think cartridge razors would be a really, really good fit for having in the space station because, again, you're in 0G, you're floating around, and or maybe they're not doing the traditional wet shave up there because of 0G and the way water reacts up there. I'm not sure. That's an interesting question. I wonder how the astronauts are shaving on the space station. That's really, really interesting. We're going to have to look into that. So, gentlemen, thanks very much for those comments. Really do appreciate that. And here's something from Jim Boslice, 0420. Did I get that right? Jim Boslice. I think it's Jimbo Slice or Jimbo Slice. I think it's Jimbo Slice 0420. Refrigeration does nothing to a boar brush besides keep it cold. This is regarding breaking in a boar brush, soaking it in a jar, and keeping it in a refrigerator so that it'll bloom a little more quickly and get broke in a little more quickly. Jim, you could be very well correct on this. I'm not entirely sure, but I keep mine in the refrigerator when I'm breaking it in so it's not laying around on the counter where it could get knocked over, something like that. I'll put it in the back of the refrigerator, out of the way, and even though it does get cold, I tend to think it helps a little bit. Now, if anyone out there knows if the cold makes a difference in soaking a boar brush to break it in, please comment below and let us know. So thanks for the great topic of discussion, Jim. Really do appreciate it. And that wraps up this week's refill segment. My thanks to everyone who contributed. Really do appreciate it. We'll do it again next week. Okay, let's check out some new wet shaving gear. Well, this morning we have a review of a brand new shave soap from 345 Soap Company, courtesy of viewer Greg Pisanti. And Greg writes, "Good morning, fellow wet shaving and 3MB enthusiasts. This week I have the pleasure to introduce to you 345 Soap Company's latest release, Cuauhlti. Now, this is spelled capital Cuauhtli, and it's pronounced Cuauhlti. And as Greg explains, the H is more of a soft tone, so it's Cuauhlti. This week, I have the pleasure to introduce to you 345 Soap Company's latest release, Cuauhlti, which is based on a scent from Louis Vuitton's California collection called Imagination. Get ready to experience a luxury fragrance and shave at a fraction of the cost. Cuauhlti is a wonderful citrus-forward fragrance and is a compliment magnet, so be prepared to get noticed. As with all 345 soaps, this stuff lathers a treat and produces a rich, thick, and creamy lather with ease. The resulting shave is comfortable, effortless, and enjoyable. Imagination's citrus-forward scent is very present and in both the soap and matching aftershave. The fragrance opens with bright citrus notes of Calabrian bergamot, Sicilian orange, and citron. The heart includes Tunisian neroli, Nigerian ginger, and Ceylon cinnamon, adding warmth and complexity. Now, I believe that's pronounced Ceylon, capital Ceylon. I've heard it pronounced Ceylon and Ceylon. I'm going to go with Ceylon. Ceylon cinnamon, adding warmth and complexity. The base features Chinese black tea, ambroxan, guaiac wood, and olivindum, resulting in a smooth, sensual dry down. Folks, this stuff is wonderful. 345 hit it out of the park with this one. And if you can get it, I highly recommend doing so. This is perfect for a warm summer's day out and will draw compliments wherever you go. I rate this a solid 4 out of 5 only because the original is just a little bit brighter and fresher on the citrus front. But keep in mind, no clone can be exact due to copyright restraints. This, however, is very close, and as such, I highly recommend it. Wow, Greg, thanks very much for an absolutely spectacular review. It sounds wonderful. I love citrus-forward shave soap scents. They're absolutely fantastic, especially during the summer and warmer months of the year. Terrific. Also great during the cooler months, even in the wintertime, because it gives you that great burst of summertime weather. Even though it's cold outside, you get that really, really great tropical kind of flavor in your shave den. Yeah, great year-round, and this one sounds like it's really, really wonderful. We have reviewed some 345 soaps, 345 shave soaps, courtesy of Greg Pessanti, who very kindly and generously sent them to the channel. They really do lather a treat. They're wonderful, and we like them a lot. As a matter of fact, we reviewed Speakeasy this past Friday. If you missed it, check it out. Another great scent from the 345 Soap Company. Thanks again to Greg Pessanti for very kindly sending that one along to the channel and allowing me to share with all the viewers out there. So folks, a great, great shave soap and aftershave splash from 345 Soap Company, a new one from them, Cuauhlti. Check it out. We'll have links below. Greg, thanks again for the excellent review. Really do appreciate it. Well, this morning we have another wonderful shave soap and splash to share with you from the folks at Enchanted Path Creations right here. This is a wonderful scent. This one's called Midsummer's Night. How about that? And their shave soaps are wonderful. They lather beautifully. And as our friend Raul Alberto de la Rosa mentioned, the residual slickness is just top notch. And that's very, very true. We had a chance to review Italian Citrus. We're in the editing phase of that particular review, and we're going to get that posted ASAP. But yeah, the residual slickness is wonderful. And this scent, Midsummer's Night, boy, this is a great guy, gentlemanly, masculine kind of scent. And as they write, Midsummer's Night, a dark, mysterious, powerful, masculine scent inspired by the Yankee Candle. Boy, it's a good one. Yeah, brand new tub there. We're going to be using this one too. This is just terrific. Yeah, their soaps are top notch. They lather beautifully, great residual slickness, and the scents that we've experienced with their shave soaps are just wonderful. Very, very captivating. We've talked about Italian Citrus, Zombie Punch, and now Midsummer's Night. So if you're looking for something that's refined, gentlemanly, very masculine, great year-round, but also something for an evening night out, especially during the summer months, yeah, check out Midsummer's Night from Enchanted Path Creations. They also have the matching aftershave splash. So check it out. We'll have links below. My thanks again to Raul Alberto de la Rosa for recommending this artisan. And also a big thank you to the artisans themselves, John and Chastity over at Enchanted Path Creations, for very kindly and generously sending this along to the channel and allowing me to share with all the viewers out there. Midsummer's Night from Enchanted Path Creations. We'll have links below. Hey, we wanted to revisit a safety razor that we talked about in a previous Monday morning mailbag. James Sefton sent an email to the channel inquiring about this razor, and I highly recommended it. Here it is right here, the Pearl Blaze 100% brass CNC machine 3-piece safety razor. Boy, this is a good one, and it comes in at a great price point, under $40 as I recall. Boy, it's a good one. Presentation is terrific, makes a great gift because the box is a sleeve configuration like this, and when you open it up, it has a great information card right on top like that, and it also has a polishing cloth. It comes with extra buffer rings like that. Also comes with razor blades. How about that? And it's a beautiful, beautiful 100% brass safety razor that is CNC machined. They say it's triple plated. Let me get the handle out. They say it's triple plated, but as Roderick McLeod explained to us in a previous Monday morning mailbag, all safety razors are triple plated. It's just the way that they plate these things. So I guess it's kind of maybe a marketing gimmick to say it's triple plated. But yeah, it is beautifully plated with a beautiful satin finish. And I love the knurling on the handle. I love this taper right here. It fits so very, very nicely in the hand. Let me give you some specs on this. The total length is 90 millimeters or 3.5 inches. The handle length is 83 millimeters or 3.27 inches. And the weight is 140 grams or 4.9 ounces. Wow, a lot of beautiful heft here. And it delivers a beautifully mild, smooth shave. We've been talking about mild razors, sharp blades. Yeah, this is a great candidate for that approach to the traditional wet shave. Mild razor, pop in a sharp blade and you're going to get a really, really nice shave. We'll link the review below that we did on this razor a while back. And I did note that the corners of the base plate, I wish they could have maybe blunted them a little bit. They really don't get in the way. You might feel that corner a little bit as you're shaving closely underneath the nostril, that sort of thing. But it's not sharp where it's going to cut or hurt you. But I think maybe they could have blunted that a little bit, maybe rounded it off a little bit. Maybe they have since that review ran. I'm not entirely sure, but it's not a deal breaker at all. I just point out to you that there is a little bit of a corner there that you should be aware of. But it is a terrific razor. We've used it for a few shaves this past week. Love this razor. Really mild and smooth. For me, it's a 3-pass razor for BBS, a 2-pass razor for upper darn fine shave, getting into the BBS area. That's how mild it is. And again, slap in a sharper blade like a feather, something like that. Boy, you're going to get a great shave. And right here on the bottom of the plate, they have all the serial numbers and that sort of thing. On the base plate right here, they got all the serial numbers and that sort of thing where you can register your particular Blaze razor. You can register it, right? Yeah, this is terrific. This is a really wonderful 100% brass CNC machined safety razor. And again, triple plated. And as Roderick says, triple plating is pretty common, especially with any form of chrome plating. It is not 3 layers of chrome. Parts are plated with copper, then nickel, and finally chrome. The chrome layer is very thin and not super adhesive on many other metals. The copper and nickel layers function kind of like filler, primer, and base color. And the analogy would be, let's say, auto painting, that kind of thing. The chrome then works almost like clear coat. Nickel is what gives the bright metallic hue. So there's a little bit of background regarding triple plating, but Pearl Shaving points out that the Blaze is triple plated. But again, boy, that is beautiful. That is absolutely a beautiful plating job on it. And great heft, 100% brass, CNC machine. So check it out if you're looking for a new mild razor. I love this one. I recommend it. Be aware of the corners on the base plate. Not a deal breaker. Just know that they're kind of there. If you get one, let me know if that's been blunted or not. Yeah, it's a terrific razor. So check it out from Pearl Shaving, the Blaze, 100% brass, CNC machined 3-piece safety razor. James, let us know if you get one. Please submit a review. I know all the viewers would be interested in hearing your experience with it. Thanks again, James. Check it out. The Blaze from Pearl Shaving. We'll have links below. Well, viewer Bart Bartlett, also known by the screen name Bart Buzz, I believe that's Bart Bartlett. Anyhow, Bart Buzz is informing us of a brand new aftershave that's out there. Well, it's new to me. It's new to him. And he writes, "Hi, Mark. I can't remember if I ever mentioned this aftershave. I discovered Adidas Dynamic Pulse a year or so ago. I was surprised how similar the Adidas fragrance is to Proraso Green Aftershave. It's about 1/3 the price and also comes in a glass container. You can get it at Amazon, but Walmart has the lowest price. Regards, Bart. Wow, that's fantastic, Bart. We're going to link it below to both Amazon and Walmart. Check it out. That is a great price point for an aftershave that is similar to Proraso Green and in a glass container. I'm going to get some. We're going to try it out and we'll do a side-by-side comparison. Oh, wow. Bart, thanks very, very much for the heads up on this. Again, folks, it's called Adidas Dynamic Pulse. And Bart says it's very similar to Proraso Green Aftershave, and it does come in at a great price point. So, Bart, thanks again for the heads up on this. Really do appreciate it. Folks, we're going to have links below. Check it out. Adidas Dynamic Pulse. Bart, thanks again very, very much. And that wraps up this week's look at new wet shaving gear. My thanks to everyone who contributed. Really do appreciate it. We'll do it again next week. Okay, let's check out some of these questions and comments. Hey, we've been talking about Boar Brushes on recent Monday Morning Mailbags, and James Sefton sent this along. And he wrote, the other day we were talking about Boar Brushes, and this is my Excelsior 1305, and I have been using it in my rotation for some time, and you can see how the hairs have split very nicely, and it is a pleasure to use. Have a great rest of the week. James, thanks very much for showing that Boar brush to everyone. Wow, that really has bloomed beautifully. Now, in contrast, we have received from viewer Matt Panter this very, very beautiful Zenith Boar brush with the butterscotch handle. Thanks, Mom. And we did the break-in routine with a bar of soap for about a 30-minute period, loading the brush in that bar soap and then building a lather in our hands for 5 minutes at a time for 6 cycles for a full 30 minutes. And that broke in rather nicely. And then we soaked this also in cold water in the refrigerator for 7 days. And you know what? I think probably the next step is going to be to just use it. And I think those 2 introductory break-in periods are going to cause this thing to just really bloom nicely through use. That's my guess. I think it's going to speed the process of use break-in a little more. That's my guess. And again, these Zenith Boar brushes are absolutely beautiful. My thanks to Matt Panter for very kindly sending this one along to the channel. And he also sponsored a Boar brush giveaway. And there are some viewers out there who have some beautiful Zenith Boar brushes right now, courtesy of Matt Panter. Matt, thank you again very, very much. And if you've got one of those Zenith Boar brushes, let us know how the break-in on those Boar brushes are going, because you know what? Mark Bagwell absolutely loved the Zenith Boar brush. The Excelsior 1305 that James Sefton has is also a very, very good boar brush. As they write, this is, according to many aficionados, the best boar shaving brush ever made. That's regarding the 1305. You know what? If you have a 1305 and if you have a Zenith, let us know how they compare side by side. Comment below and let us know. James, thanks again very much for sharing that photo of your boar shaving brush. And we are going to continue to chronicle the break-in and performance of this beautiful Zenith Boar brush with the butterscotch handle. Thanks, Mom. Thanks again to Matt Panter, and a big thank you to James Sefton. Gentlemen, thanks again very, very much. Viewer JimiV Photography checked in with a little bit of this and a little bit of that. He writes, speaking of cold shaves and lazy Susans, I've attached a photo of my copper dock in its ice water bowl. Now, Jimmy is a big fan of cold water shaves, which is why he's sending along this information. Let me start over. I've attached a photo of my copper dock in its ice water bowl. One photo shows the normal, the other is a FLIR, F-L-I-R, FLIR infrared, showing the temperature of the water. The handle is a bit warmer than the head, but you can see the head is right around 33 degrees Fahrenheit. The other photo is my brush Lazy Susan, actually an old style rubber stamp holder. Remember those? Wow, that is brilliant. A rubber stamp holder carousel to use as a brush holder. That is fantastic, Jimmy. Thanks very much for sharing that with all the viewers out there. Folks, if you are in an antique store and come across one of those old rubber stamp carousels, grab it. It's great for storing and displaying your shaving brushes. Jimmy, thanks very much for that. Really do appreciate it. He continues here, soaps should be set down face up to dry. There is far greater air circulation to enhance evaporation processes. Just give any soapy water a drying pat and leave it face up. Face down is good if you are in a dirty environment, but I'd hazard a guess most people aren't. And face down, even across a pencil, has significantly less airflow. Here's something interesting. I had put away a used tub of Atomic Bay rum. It hadn't been opened in at least a year. It lathered up wonderfully and the scent filled the den, just as good as it did when new. The splash was fine too. That's all I have. I hope everything is going great for you. Jimmy, it is going great. Thanks for all the great comments. Really do appreciate it. How about that? Atomic Bay rum, lathering up a treat and hanging on to that wonderful scent. There you go. You let a shave soap dry out properly, as Jimmy suggested, and you cap it nicely. It'll keep. That's absolutely fantastic. And Jimmy, again, thanks for all the great comments. Really do appreciate it. Folks, you got some other great comments out there along the lines of what Jimmy has sent along, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Send it to the Monday Morning Mailbag at mondaymailbag@gmail.com, and we'll share it with all the viewers out there. Jimmy, thanks again very much. Well, we've been talking ice cream on the Monday Morning Mailbag, and R.H. Dave sent this along. Hi, Mark. Great 3MB as always on ice cream cones types. When I worked at a local ice cream company back in the 1970s, there were actually 3 types of cones. Cake cones, also known as regular cones, sugar cones, and waffle cones. The cake cones had 2 varieties, flat bottom and pointed bottom. Sugar cones were also pointed bottom, but usually had a paper wrapper around the lower 2/3, while pointed cake cups did not. Waffle cones were the new kid back then, as I recall, and were generally larger than cake or sugar cones. I believe all 3 types remain available today. Here are some screen grabs of each. Wow, we've been showing those on screen as we've read R.H. Dave's great information regarding ice cream cone types. Wow, that's great, Dave. Thanks so much for filling us in on some great traditional ice cream cones. He concludes here, personally, I always preferred the cake cones, but to each his own. Have a great week. Dave Wilson, R.H. Dave. Dave, that's really fantastic. Thanks so much for sending that along. Folks, what is your favorite ice cream cone? I'm a sugar cone person myself. I like the cake cones with the flat bottom. I'll use those if that's all that's around, but I really like the sugar cones and now the waffle cones. With all the county and state fairs coming up this month and into September, yeah, looking forward to a waffle cone because those are really popular at the fairs, as I understand it. So R.H. Dave Wilson, thanks very much for the information. Really do appreciate it. And that wraps up another Monday Morning Mailbag. Thanks so much for tuning in again. I really do appreciate it. Please share, please subscribe, please like. Hit that bell so it'll give you a yell the next time I upload a video. Comment below. Let me know. Check out all the wonderful artisan soap makers and sellers that you see displayed on the bottom of the screen right now. They make and offer some wonderful artisan shave soap. They also offer some wonderful wet shaving gear to enhance your traditional wet shave. The next time you're online, please take a moment, pay them a visit. I sure would appreciate it. Thank you very much. Also, check out my Amazon product page at amazon.com/shop/MarkZerati, where you'll find all the Amazon listed products that I review on this channel, organized and categorized so you can find everything in a snap very easily. I'll leave you with this laugh. Hey, we have another double take cartoon puzzle this week. Try to find the differences between the two cartoon panels. If you need more time, just pause the video, or try to find all the differences before time runs out. Thanks very much for tuning in again. I really do appreciate it. Make it a great week.